Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this nice Thursday, December 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific, and thank you for joining us today. This is a continuing series of webinars dedicated to the contact center, and as those of you who have known Inflow, we are big about sharing information and products that we use and leverage that have extra value. And today's session, Brightmetrics 101, Dashboards and More for PureCloud, I hope that you'll find exciting. There are many dashboard options out there that support the PureCloud product, but I think you'll find this one uniquely different and exciting. And I will have some examples for you. Because we have an ongoing education webinar track, I listed the two following upcoming webinars. Stay tuned for December 17th. It's an administrator webinar for Mitel ShoreTel and how to packet capture. And then into 2020, if you can believe that, on January 30th, we'll have maximizing your Inflow support, and we'll be covering some of our success program benefits as well. So that being said, my name is Chris Mauricio. I'm the Director of Contact Center and Advanced Applications here. I'll be presenting the product today, and certainly after we go through the product, we have 30 minutes today. If you would like a follow-up and a one-on-one session, I'm happy to give you my time and attention to walk you through the product to see if Brightmetrics wouldn't be a fit for your organization. I've been around for about 25 plus years, too long to talk about, and I've been involved with contact center at many levels, from both the telecom side all the way down to the design and infrastructure side, working with agents side by side and consulting with managers and supervisors about their contact center operation. With me today as moderator is Luis Sauceda, who is our sales project coordinator, does a lot of support work for Inflow Communications, including supporting us on the webinars here. He's had 7+ years of administrative and project support. And so, Luis, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy today's webinar.
Thanks, Luis. Sorry to put you on the spot there. Luis is really great to work with. I lean on him quite heavily, especially when I'm looking for data and information that I keep in a catalog elsewhere, so he's a great support to us. He'll be fielding some questions, so from time to time through our webinar today, I will stop and see if there are any questions and dialogue that you'd like to ask through the course of the presentation. For those of you that know who Inflow Communications are, or maybe you don't, here's a quick preview. We are laser focused on unified communications and contact center solutions. We do not offer anything else, such as we don't sell servers related to fax serving, network appliances, etc. We are focused on the operations of contact center and unified communications. We have been an RA Mitel Platinum Partner, and we were Contact Center Partner of the Year for ShoreTel Mitel. We are currently a Genesys Gold Partner, ranked #2 in the US and #5 globally. And Gold Partner is the highest accolade you can get with Genesys currently, and we're proud to take that position and work alongside Genesys. We do support other products such as the Twilio platform. We're certified on, as well as Twilio Flex Contact Center. We have over 45 dedicated engineers, product managers, and support technicians, most of which came from the operations world. So when you reach out to them, they will have anecdotal information and real-world experience. They're not just textbook learned folks. We do support over 150,000. Actually, that number has been changed to over 180,000 endpoints across 800 customers supported globally. Many of our clients have global footprints, and we're happy to support them across the world, wherever their business may take them. We've got offices and employees all over the place, including California, Idaho, Iowa, the Pacific Northwest, and there's a smattering of quite a few others there that I'll let you just read at your leisure if you visit our website. Here's a quick hit list of some of our clients, some names that you no doubt recognize, such as Zillow, BP, and Domino's. ThyssenKrupp, also a very good strategic client for us. So just know that you're in good company if you are working with Inflow or entertain the idea of coming over to Inflow for support services. Now, knowledge is our #1 goal in education. We always believe that putting information in the hands of customers allows customers to freely live and work the way they typically work, oftentimes need access to information. Check out our website and our knowledge base. We've got lots of white papers, success stories, resources, blogs, and case studies, and lots of videos dedicated to how to do things on the various products that we support, including Mitel, ShoreTel, RingCentral, and PureCloud. One of the things that we do here specifically at Inflow Communications is we focus on the contact center operation. Contact center is a very unique industry, and most folks don't understand the uniqueness of the contact center. Years ago, contact center used to be the process that happened in the back room or downstairs somewhere. Nowadays, contact center is front and center, where I believe it should be as the crown jewel of any operation. One of the things we do is side-by-side consulting through our CCSM program, which is maximizing your investment in technology. This is where we spend time focused with you over 2 days, really digging into your operation, talking to the key stakeholders, and making some recommendations about your operation and the technology you already own. Most of the time, folks will procure a contact center solution and it's implemented the same way they just replace another solution, but they don't really maximize or optimize their solution. This is where we come in. We want to work with you side by side, work with the folks, train them up on products, whether it's IT, executive level folks, understanding data, or just helping the operations really streamline and maximize their product. And we do this through our program here. The way we do that is we bridge the gap between product knowledge, which, as you know, in products, you learn lots of things about products, and not everything can be captured in the manual. And so I often say, forget the manual, let's talk about real-world case scenarios. We tie this to your operational needs and help you develop strategies around customer engagement, agent retention, and just leveraging your products, including maximizing the knowledge base of IT, who's often the guys who are end up being the scapegoat for supporting contact centers. So we support everybody in the continuum that meets supporting the contact center. And lastly, we're interested in supporting the customer, giving you our latest trends and our knowledge about where the industry is going and what options are available to you and how to augment what you currently have with maybe additional services or extend what you already own. And we do that through our contact center practice, and our goal is to really support you end to end. And I call this bridging the gap. In the many years that I worked in contact center, I was on the IT side. Contact center operations has a very specific focus, and it's often lost in translation. The end users typically are not technologists and savvy, and so they really need someone to interpret how to bridge what they own and the technology they own and bring it to an elegant solution. That's where I call bridging the gap and bringing that together, bringing all these pillars of knowledge and expertise and what your operation needs together in one unified flow process, hopefully helping you maximizing your investment. We've had great success with the program. Some of our clients have escalated their conversion rates if you're in sales and just using the product generally. If you have any questions as a result of our discussion and presentation today, please feel free to send an email to contact@inflowcommunications.com. That will be funneled through me or to me, and if you have a request to go into Brightmetrics in more detail, or maybe you have a short-tail product, contact center you'd like to go in more detail, or PureCloud, or maybe you just want to talk about contact center technologies in general, you're welcome to reach out to me. It's a pro bono discussion. Send your emails to contact@inflowcommunications.com. Luis will get those to me and we'll set something up. Now let's talk about today's agenda. So for today, our topic is Brightmetrics 101. Now, if you've worked with PureCloud, you know that PureCloud has some good reporting. It also has some dashboards. However, I think many clients wish they had more and more flexible options. And this is where Brightmetrics has done an exceptional job in extending the capabilities for dashboards and reporting, and we're going to get into some of that in a moment. We're going to cover how do you slice and dice data, how do I create custom views for my data and custom reports. Inside PureCloud, you know that you have very static reports, and most clients are looking to do something other than what's available with the reports. So through today's session, I will give you a glimpse into what is possible, show you how you can slice and dice data in Brightmetrics. I think you'll find it exciting. I'm also going to show you the different types of dashboards that you can create, how you can customize dashboards. I think visualization is a critical aspect of the contact center. A lot of times folks don't have time to read an eye chart or a spreadsheet, as I like to call it, an eye chart. A lot of times you need things just in visual colors, and I think the dashboards that I'm going to show you as examples today and show you how to customize those, and the various views that you can create will certainly expand upon what PureCloud offers and gives you a lot more bang for your operation. And then we'll end up with a summary Q&A. Because we have 20 minutes left, let's just pop into it. If you have questions, I'll stop intermittently along the way, but let's get into Brightmetrics for PureCloud.
Chris,
Brightmetrics
this is Luis. Sorry
yes,
for the interruption.
no problem.
We are having some. The slides are static. Are you showing something on your screen?
Yes, I am.
We have a question that our viewers are only able to see Brightmetrics 101 screen right now.
Oh, yeah, it's Cascade. I'm actually on page 7 or 8. You're not seeing me shift pages?
No, just the front page of the Presso.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me escape and let's do this again. So hang on one moment. I'm going to relaunch this. What do you see now?
The front page, Brightmetrics 101.
Okay, we have a problem here with broadcasting, and let me let's try this one more time. If not, we'll just skip and go on to the product. I can certainly show it without showing the slides. Let's go here, let's go here, let's go back to, let me try it one more time. If this doesn't work, we'll just start moving on into the product itself. So let's do this. Well, you're seeing Brightmetrics 101, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, do you see my second slide now?
No, just the first one.
All right, well then we need to just move on. Let's do this. Can you see my desktop now?
No.
Oh, there's a problem with the tool set then, hold on. Okay, we must have lost connectivity here, so let me go to the webinar again. Hang on, folks, I'm gonna relaunch this. It looks like it may have stalled here. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. Let's try this again. Yeah, it kicked me back out. Let's try it one more time. My apologies, folks. Let me launch this one more time. I'm gonna exit and come back in. Looks like there may be a problem with GoToMeeting because I just got an error pop up for the meeting. You can still hear me, correct?
Yes, we can.
All right, let's try this one more time. Okay, I am back on my screen. Can you see my browser?
Yes, we can.
Can you see my slide deck now?
Yes.
All right, let's, and thank you for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate that. I didn't see that it had faltered there. I did get an error from GoToMeeting. So we're gonna skip all this because we've already covered this. We are gonna get right into a couple of visualizations here, then we'll get into the product. So thanks for hanging in there with us, folks. I sincerely appreciate it. You should see a slide that says Brightmetrics for PureCloud, changing the dynamics of data. Do you see that?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you so much for that reminder. And folks, thanks for hanging in there. My apologies on that. I don't know what happened there, but we are back in the game. So Brightmetrics for PureCloud. If you're used to PureCloud today, Brightmetrics is a tool that Inflow Communication has leveraged for many years, and we're happy that Brightmetrics actually expanded their product to support PureCloud. With PureCloud, you have a need for lots of data and visualizations, and we know that it has been slow coming on the PureCloud side. One of the things about Brightmetrics is that you can change everything about the visualizations. Now, here is an example, and just to make sure I'm keeping pace, Luis, can you see my new slide now with the graphs and the pie charts?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, good. All right. Just making sure everyone's good here. So this is an example of how you can change what dashboards look like using the Brightmetrics tool. The tool is intended to be easy to use and drag and drop. And I'm going to show you this exact example when we log into Brightmetrics. This is another example of dashboards that you can create. And you'll notice here this is more of a linear graph up and down with horizontal or vertical bars. And then I also have a data matrix down below that. So these are classic examples of how you can change data. You notice next to these pie charts, I also have my linear data, abandon rate 0.65, average wait time, and all the metrics that you have. So you're really getting a good visualization here. This is another visualization, and lastly, we're going to end up with reporting. I think this is probably going to be one of the most dramatic changes that you'll feel or experience with Brightmetrics, is because the reporting allows you to really create a customized view of data and views. So with that said, let's get right into the product. Let me transition my browser. I'm ready to log into my page here. So let me move my tool over. Hold on one moment. Let's do this. I'm going to pause my screen share for a moment. You're not seeing my screen now, right?
And not now.
Okay, just making sure. And now I'm gonna show screen again and you can see my screen again. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Great. Okay, I'm going to log in to Brightmetrics here. Now, we support many clients, so we have a client list that you'll see here. There is a dashboard that I showed as an example, and this is the dashboard where we're going to work from today. This is a customer of ours who is on PureCloud and used another dashboard solution, opted to go to PureCloud because of the extensibility of dashboards. So let's start with the dashboards themselves and give you sort of a fundamental tour of the product. On the left-hand side, you have these various widgets. You have the dashboard widget where you can create custom visualizations as you're seeing here. Now, this is a pretty broad stroke and a very different view of dashboard data than what's currently available in PureCloud. As far as a product offering, all of these are customizable, and you can create multiple layers of dashboards. At the top here, you can see I have my month dashboard. I have my yesterday's tab, which shows a different dashboard view. You also see there's a scrolling marquee now at the bottom of my page. So information that you deem necessary that you'd like to show, you can create lots of visualizations. And here I'm going to a year dashboard at the top. You can see at the top here, I've got multiple dashboards. I've got month, yesterday, year, ICQ, specific cues, etc. And hopefully what you're seeing here is just the amount of variety and ways that you can manipulate data to show. And these are still populating here. You can see them coming in now. There you go. That one on the right just populated. It allows you to really create a very deep view of activity. Now I can go into individual cues. We were certainly looking at Brightmetrics. Now I'm going into individual queue activity here, and I can have my details at the top here, and you've got abandon rates, longest, the typical things you're looking for. Going down further, I can take this information down into something specific, and you see dollars and cents as well. You can aggregate data and pull in other data that actually allows you to have a more visualized view of what's happening. And I'll cascade through a couple more dashboards. This looks similar to the one we just saw, just to give you a sense that the customizability of dashboards, there's no end really to what you can do with dashboards. Now, veering our topic on the left again, we can go to reports. Now, reports gives you the ability to flex with reports. What you see here typically is the standard reports. We're going to go into some of these in a moment. Each report can be customized fully down to the columns and to how you sort and manipulate data. The Brightmetrics also gives you call flow reports as well, meaning that it can diagram out, here's what my call flow looks like, and here's my touch points. It can give you a flow visual diagram. Oftentimes, contact center wants to see what's happening with my flows, and I can build out a matrix for that. The next two options, Insights. Insights is a workforce management light tool. It will look at strategic data in your PureCloud org to help you identify and use sort of a matrix for staffing purposes. Now, PureCloud already has our workforce management tool. This may or may not fit those specific needs, but Brightmetrics has gone a long way to actually looking at all the data and the many ways clients might use it data. Now you have administrator tools and data source configurations. Let's actually go to some dashboards and let's play with these and give you an idea of what you can do. Going back to our dashboards here, what I can do with dashboards is on the far right, I can go into my dashboard, see my different dashboards, etc. But if I want to edit a dashboard, you'll notice on the upper left-hand corner under month, I have a pencil here for edit. When I go into edit mode, you can see I have more options. I can add a chart, I can change my dashboard settings, email a dashboard, and set permissions. So unlike some of the dashboards and permission set that you have inside of PureCloud, you can be very specific what you do with the dashboard. Now, adding a chart, everything in a dashboard is considered to be a chart. Whether you want it to be a pie chart, and each of these colors are customizable. You can customize pretty much everything on here. Or you want a bar chart or a linear graph. It's really up to you. When I add a chart, I can select add a chart. It's going to ask me what's my data source, what sort of data options I have, and what am I looking at. Now in PureCloud, obviously since there's a data source at PureCloud, we're looking at the API statistical information. You can look at sessions. Sessions are the basic how each conversation breaks out. You can look at queues, agent activity, billing usage, evaluation, and adherence. So you have quite a variety of ways to look at information. Let's look at queues, make it simple, and hit OK. Now, once I have my matrix here on the right, I'm going to have my options. Do I want a bar chart? Do I want a time series, which is the up and down graph? Do I want a pie chart or text? Now, we're not going to be able to configure all these options here. I'm just showing you as a basic introduction, what you can do in sort of the flexible options. You have your chart colorizations. You can customize the colors. You can put your time intervals, whether you want a daily read or an hourly read. And you can do the full available time range, which I don't recommend. Typically, you want to look at things either from an annual, daily, weekly perspective. And you can see that PureCloud is pretty progressive in the way they put things out in a logical sense, things that already things that you're already thinking in a certain way. So I might do things like, you can see they're alphabetized yesterday. From there, I'm going to choose chart values. Here's my percentages. What data am I trying to produce in a chart? And so this is all the information that comes directly from PureCloud. So as you scroll through, you'll get all your information. You can have calculated revenue. What are my callbacks, chats, you can look at data from account perspective, whether they're abandoned calls dropped in certain segments, et cetera. So you have a real good detail matrix to borrow from. And then, of course, you can categorize things by DNIS, by name, by direction. Oftentimes in contact center, you want a chart that shows only my inbound, or show my calls by disposition, or wrap codes, as most people refer to them, or by skill. There's really a variety of ways that you can slice and dice and present information. So once I select my option, it will populate here. Because it's a live system for a client, I'm not going to save any of these changes. We're going to cancel those. I'm going to continue forward and go to a different dashboard here. Now you do have lots of options. You notice that I did configure the dashboard here, or that this customer has configured the dashboard here in several different views. This is very common for most folks. Show me the quick hit stuff at the top, which allows me to actually publish a URL. Once you create a dashboard, inside Brightmetrics, you can create a URL for that dashboard. Here's the advantage. You can either publish that on a large screen, or you can send it out to each of your users on the floor, and they can park that URL inside their browser toolbox here, or their bookmarks. And so these are various different ways that dashboards can be sliced and diced and chopped. Now, going over, you can see here, each of these sort of metrics are quite different. And as I go into each one, I can hit the edit mode, go into each edit mode option. Another thing that folks like to do is a lot of times a snapshot is worth 1,000 words, or if you're doing a monthly or a weekly presentation, having the ability to email dashboards is quite an advantage for you as well. Now I can drag the dashboard and move these around. I'm not going to move this because it does belong to client currently, but let's look in one of these dashboards in terms of what I can do with the dashboard. Once I've created a dashboard, I can move or copy dashboards to other dashboards. So for example, at the top here, I have a month dashboard, a yesterday dashboard, and a year dashboard. Oftentimes, you need to share data among dashboards or push data to different dashboards that are assigned to different people. Once you create a generic dashboard, or the dashboard with your details, when you copy to, you can copy this dashlet, I'll call it, to any other dashboard that exists. So what I commonly see is I might have a supervisor dashboard and an agent dashboard. I might want to copy details from the supervisor dashboard to an agent dashboard. So Brightmetrics understands that building dashboards can take a significant amount of time. Once you build dashboards, then you simply move them where you need them, copy them to, remove a dashboard, and then you can download them as a PDF, a PNG file, or a SVG. Oftentimes clients will download the file and put them in their presentations. Now the chart options, once I open the chart options, you can see on the right, this is where we were originally. I can change the information that I'm seeing here by simply pointing to my options on the right. I can also look at filters down below and filter dashboards in various categories. For example, I might want to show a dashboard for my group, but then filter by my agents in sort of a sequential order. It gives you the luxury to build dashboards that make sense, and you can see the multitude of categories here that you can filter activities on, even down to the skill level. So depending on what you're trying to accomplish, you have lots of options here. Now under the advanced features, it allows you to do other things, such as oftentimes if you have a very busy, robust contact center with more than 200 people, it doesn't make sense to show the metrics for 200 people. You might just want to show the top 5 results or the top 10 results. It lets you really drill down your dashboards into specific details. Now, I realize we ran out of a little bit of minutes there while we were juggling the issue with the screen. Let's go over to reporting, because this, aside from dashboards, reporting has quite a few flexible options that I think are worth spending time on. And Luis, I'll see if stop here and ask, are there any pending questions?
No questions right now.
Okay, great. Now you'll notice here, I went right to reports. Now these are the reports that actually are in PureCloud. They show up as templates, but I can actually take a template and customize completely what I'm looking at. Let's look at an agent activity report here. I double click into the report. Now this is where things get interesting. Let's let this report run for a moment. And there's a couple of things here that are helpful. What you're seeing here is you're seeing the report, and typically this is how the report shows up in PureCloud. But each of these columns I can add and subtract. You'll notice on the left-hand side of my screen, I have rows, which is what attributes here. This is being broken down by agent. So I've got Adriana. Whatever order I put this in on the left is how this report will manifest itself. So clients have various ways that they need to dissect data, and this will update. We will not save this report. And you can see now I've got it sorted by date and then agent. For this client, they want to sort the activity by agent first and then date, and you'll see this report will auto update based on how I drag and drop my metrics here. So let's give that a moment. Another note I want to make is on the far right-hand side, you have the ability to print this report or schedule the report, which can do email delivery. In PureCloud, currently, you do not have email delivery capabilities, but you have the ability to have the reports generate. Now, going back to the left here, you also have fields. I can open up my fields. Now, what we're looking at first right here is layout on the left. The layout decides where are my rows, which are here, agent name, and then how do I show my columns across the top. Every column that's listed here under values and columns, I can move in any sort of direction I want to break down my report in specific categories. Also look on the left under fields. Under fields, I have all these values that I can add and subtract into this report. So if I want to add more data here, pull this column over, drop it into place, it will become part of this report. You can see it's going to auto-generate and add that specific detail. This is sort of the advantage of using Brightmetrics. I have the luxury to add and subtract, create a very specific report. Now you can see I have my CPC IC. I can also subtract that and subtract any metric, and it will also auto-generate and give me some details. Now, what we're going to do next here, keep in mind, you can change everything about this report, its layout, including the data that it's actually outputting here. The columns you have on the left are all the dimensions and values of reporting that you can add and subtract to the report to give you something more exceptional in terms of what you're trying to customize for your various purposes. Now, we all know that from the contact center perspective, you're going to send reports to various people. You have your performance reports data for agents, but then you have other stakeholders like marketing and CFOs, CEOs who want to see data, or directors of contact center in a different way. This allows you to do that. Now let's leave the columns and the layout here on the left. Let's look at our report and let's go into some detail here. What you'll notice is that when you create a report and you're looking at a report, you can drill down into the details of the report. So we selected the first representative, I've drilled down in the report. What you notice at the top is that when I drill down, I don't leave this report, I actually open a new tab. So it makes it easier for me to trace where I'm going. Now you can see here, each of these headers becomes a way to sort the report. I can drill down and look at the details of what was happening with this user. Specifically, you can see conversation ID, lots more detail here. This person is actually, their status is offline, and their routing status. So it gives you a distinction between their presence status, which might be available, and the routing status would be on queue, etc. When you look here, I can add filters again and decide, well, how do I want to look at data? What sort of information? Currently, we're looking at agent name, call date and time, and the activity for a specific date. I can look at it hourly, monthly, weekly. I'm basically adding and subtracting all sorts of variables that are available in PureCloud in a way that PureCloud currently doesn't allow me to do it. That being said, I know we've run out of time here. We're at the 30-minute mark. Are there any questions that I can answer? And more importantly, is anyone interested in a one-on-one session so we can get into more details about your specific use case? Hopefully this is giving you a really good broad overview on what you can do with PureCloud. We just touched the very basics at this point. So Luis, do we have any questions based on what we've seen so far today?
No, we don't.
Okay, the last comment I will make is that if you go to the App Foundry store, Genesys App Foundry, you will find Brightmetrics here. Type in Brightmetrics, and you can engage Brightmetrics and bring them in. It's a tool that you'd like to utilize and leverage as part of your contact center solution for PureCloud. You can also engage with Inflow communications. So going back to my summary and closeout here for today, thank you for hanging in there with us through our technical difficulties. We covered today Brightmetrics 101 for PureCloud. Hopefully you saw the extensibility in how you can leverage PureCloud to really customize a visualization unlike the way PureCloud offers it. You can create custom views, pie charts, graph charts, linear charts, data charts, and ultimately create custom reports. Again, we just covered the basics of 101. If you'd like to go into more details, please let me know by reaching out to us at contact@inflowcommunications.com. And with that said, I'll return you to your day and thank you for joining us today.